Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Matt, and I am planning a 2023 through hike of the Appalachian Trail. I will be going northbound out of Springer Mountain, Georgia, mid-March. I am when this video airs, I'm about 6 weeks out of start time. And the first couple episodes, I covered like an introduction, a little bit about myself. And last episode was a gear list and kind of going through each piece of gear quickly. Like I said, I live in the Arkansas Ozarks, and last night we got about 8 inches of really heavy wet snow. And this is in the evening now. It's about an hour before dark. Some of it's melted off, but it's supposed to be lower 20s tonight. And so I thought no better time to test out some of my clothing and gear and kind of practice setting up tent in the snow and everything. So love to have you all join me this evening, and we'll see if we can get this thing done. Okay, great. I'd like to take a minute right now and kind of talk about what I chose to wear today. If you missed my episode 2, the gear video one, I have everything kind of listed in there also. But it's about 35, wet, heavy snow. We got about 8 inches last night, but during the day today, a lot of it is melted. Tonight's low is supposed to be lower 20s, 22, somewhere around there, I think. Down here in Arkansas, when we do get snow, it's usually like this, wet and heavy snow. So what I kind of chose to wear to kind of experiment and see what works best is I have my Ultra Lone Peaks that I'm wearing. Under those, I have sealskin socks, which are waterproof socks. I really like those. They're real good. I suppose you could almost wear another pair of like Darn Toughs underneath them if you needed to. But for today, my feet are plenty warm and they're dry. So that makes a big difference. Next, I have just the convertible, like where you unzip the legs to make them shorts. I have those, which is a fairly light pair of those. I have that with my rain pants on over the top of that, and that's plenty warm. For the top, I have like a long sleeve. It's not really merino wool, it's more of a polyester blend, but it's a long sleeve, pretty light layer that I'm wearing. On top of that, I have my Columbia Omnishade shirt, which is a lighter shirt, but it's really good at trapping air to help keep you warm. And then I have my Decathlon puffy jacket with a hood, which I'm not using the hood, and actually I'm almost a little warm. I've been hiking now for about 20-25 minutes, and it's plenty warm. So I have that. I have my possum down beanie cap on that's keep me warm. I brought gloves, but I'm not needing them yet. I'm plenty warm without them. So it's kind of what I've chosen to wear, and so far I've been able to stay warm. I'll kind of keep you updated. Time to start looking for somewhere to pitch the tent for the night, because we're getting pretty close to dark. So we'll get that set up, we'll cook some dinner, and then I'll let you know during the night everything, how I do, how warm it is, and if everything seems to work, or if I need to change gear out. You know, now's the time. If I'm gonna have to change gear out, I don't wanna get stuck on the Appalachian with not enough of whatever, or the wrong gear. So I figure anytime I can get out like this, the better, you know, kind of get good practice and get it going. So I'll show you a few pictures down the trail, and then we need to start looking for somewhere to spend the night, I'd say. think I may have found a good spot to spend the night tonight. There's an old abandoned road here, and a little area with some cedars around it. It's not too thick of snow, might be a good place to set up. No big limbs hanging over, anything that might come down during the night. So I think I'll shed a layer or two, and we might see what we can do here about setting up a tent, all right? Well, not too bad of a pitch for being in the snow and cold out. Can't tell by the video, but it's starting to get dark and cold. So I'm going to set up my stuff inside, clear a little spot in front for getting in and out, and I'll check back with you here in a few. There's the air mattress in the tent. I'll start getting the sleeping bag and everything else in there next. There's not a lot of room, but it's not too bad at night. I've spent a few nights in here, and it's all in all, it's not bad once you get settled. Put the pillow on there. 10-degree sleeping bag. Home sweet home. We'll see how we do tonight. I'm gonna cheat tonight and cook right outside the tent. Well, I have seen bears on my property a year or two ago. Normally this time of year it's not an issue. We have very few around here. So I think it'd be safe. I'll cook right outside here. And I just brought, this is kind of a last minute test. So I brought some Knorr sides and some tuna fish and some coffee packets, that sort of thing. So we'll get cooking. Dinner's a cooking. Well, folks, I'm pretty wore out, and it's only about 7 o'clock, but it's so dark out. I'm gonna eat a little bit and then head for bed, and we'll see y'all in the morning. Well, I'm heading back out for a second night in the tent. It's about 9 o'clock or so. First night, you know, I didn't stay too warm. I had all the gear I needed. I just took some shortcuts thinking I wouldn't need it, and well, that's where I was wrong. And you know, that's what shakedowns are for. So I'm gonna get out here again tonight and see how I do. I did more preparation like I should have the first time, and I'm gonna see what kind of difference it makes, and we'll find out in the morning, right? Coming up on the old homestead here, and I'll make some changes. Like I said, you know, I brought everything I needed. I'd spent a night or two out before when it was lower 20s, and I did fine, and maybe I got a little complacent thinking, oh, it's not that bad, I'll be fine, and I don't need to wear all the gear and do it properly. And you know, I have my merino wool long johns and everything, and I thought, well, I'll be okay with what I got. You know, I don't need to change into that, and that's where I was wrong. So live and learn. Like I said, when I started this channel, it's like I want to try to make it as real as possible, and when I screw up, want to let everybody know what I did and what I did wrong, so that one, I learn, and number two, other people can learn from my mistakes. That way you don't have to make as many yourself. So anyway, I'm going to hit the sack for tonight and see how I do tonight, and we'll see y'all in the morning. Just kind of sitting here in my tent, haven't gone to bed yet, and kind of thinking about what I may have done wrong last night. I'll fill you on a little more of the story. As you saw in the video, I got in, got set up, and headed for bed. And main problem I was having was my feet were cold all night long. I mean, I just couldn't get them warm. I put another layer of socks on, didn't seem to do much good. My core stayed warm, but my feet were just freezing all night. Finally, I think it's about 11:30 or something, I bailed. Hiked back to the house and chickened out. So anyway, so I had all day to think about, like, what did I do wrong? Because I've been out in a lot colder weather and I stayed warm. And last night it was not as cold, and I was my feet were cold. So I think part of my mistake may have been I had my Ultra shoes on, trail runners on. And of course, they're not waterproof, so I wore my sealskin socks and to keep my feet dry. And my feet did not get wet from the snow and everything. But I think when I changed out of them into my kind of woolly socks that I wear at night, I think my feet were damp, just like from like sweat. And that was probably a mistake. I just got too warm hiking here. And I think that was my mistake. I was not realizing it, but I was kind of damp when I was going to bed. So that's the only thing I could really contribute to it. Like I said, I also took some shortcuts. You know, I had my convertible pants on, and I didn't feel like changing into my wool PJs for sleeping in. So I'm like, I'll be fine because I was warm before. Well, I got careless, I guess, and I should have changed into my wool stuff. So tonight, I'm doing it again, trying to correct some mistakes that I may have made, because I got to get this dialed in right. If I'm going to be on trail, it's going to be cold. So I've got my wool top and bottom on and my woolly socks, and I think I'm going to be fine. I already feel warmer. So I think it was just some careless choices on my part. And like I said, I'll be real with you all. If I mess up, I'm going to let you know. So anyway, I'm going to hit sack, and I'll be able to tell you more accurately in the morning how I did. Okay, so we'll see y'all in the morning. Hey everybody, kind of want to come on here real quick before I wrap up the video. As I said, the first night I made it to about 11:30. My feet were very, very cold, and I hadn't slept yet as of 11:30. I did 2 nights, but both mornings, the following mornings, I had to get up and go to work. So by 11:30, hadn't slept yet, had to get up around 6 or so. So I decided I better get some sleep that night. I've had rough nights on trail before, probably like anyone who ever backpacks has had, where you don't get much sleep. But the difference is on trail, sometimes I'll hike till like noon, and when the sun's up and it's warm, I eat my lunch, lay back, take a little nap. It's great. I'm good to go. I can't really do that when you're at work. So 11:30 the first night, I bailed. The second, I did much better. I wore the clothes that I had planned on wearing. My feet were not damp. I think the first night, even though I didn't realize, I think my feet were kind of damp, probably from sweat, and that seemed that's what made the difference. I was a little surprised at that because I had spent nights colder than that out and been fine. So anyway, just kind of wanted to wrap up a few things and everything. I really appreciate all the comments y'all are leaving, and I hope to see y'all down the trail.